Exactly. And I think it could be life-changing for people. Now more than ever, we're torn in so many different directions. And I just see people struggle so much with just so many different things going on. And unfortunately, that's just sort of where we are in society. So I really believe that the mindfulness and the cannabis can change lives.
Welcome to the Well with Cannabis podcast, a show dedicated to telling the life-changing stories of those who live well with cannabis, all while teaching you how to do the same. Meet your host, Emily Kyle, a registered dietitian nutritionist turned certified holistic cannabis practitioner. Emily changed her life for the better with the help of the cannabis plant, and now she is committed to helping others do the same. Tune in each week to hear heartwarming stories and gain the knowledge you need to feel connected, inspired, and supported on your own cannabis journey. Whether you're a new cannabis consumer or a lifetime lover, you'll benefit from these uplifting tales of real-life journeys that will show you how you too can live your best life well with cannabis.
Before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to share a note on potentially sensitive content. The episodes on the Well with Cannabis podcast are created for adult audiences only. We will at times cover sensitive topics, including but not limited to suicide, abuse, mental illness, sex, drugs, alcohol, psychedelics, and the obvious use of plant medicine. Explicit language may be used occasionally. Please refrain from watching or listening to the show if you're likely to be offended or adversely impacted by any of these topics. The information on this show is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute medical advice. If any of the content on this podcast has brought up anything for you, please reach out or speak to a professional or someone you trust. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Well with Cannabis podcast. And I am so excited to meet our next guest today. We have Beth Jasinski, and I am so excited to talk about her journey with cannabis. We're talking anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, but really this beautiful thing that has come out of it. And I really want to talk about intuition and mindfulness. So Beth, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming here today.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your backstory and what led you to cannabis.
I had never, ever experimented with cannabis before. I know.
Oh.
And here I am, like 30, maybe 39 years old, right? So this is not too many years ago, 2017-ish. And I was a fitness instructor for a long time. So I was teaching a class and we were just chit-chatting and I was telling my class about, we were taking, my husband's son to, Disney World. And I was like, oh guys, what am I going to do at Disney World? Having kids is new to me. Like, what am I going to do? And one of the girls in the class was like, I have something for you. And I was like, okay, I'll try anything, man. Because I'm not one to just pop a Xanax every time I get anxious. Right. And, I have dealt with anxiety and depression my whole entire life. It just comes on us. It's hereditary. And I've always been very anxious and never really had an outlet for it. So I was diagnosed as bipolar many years ago and I am on medication. And that takes the edge off, but that doesn't mean that it cures you from anxiety. There's no cure. So she introduced me to cannabis and it really just changed how I felt mentally. It really took the edge off. I know it took the edge off the anxiety. And so I had that fabulous experience on vacation. And so I decided to look into it and I did some research and I found you and I found your site and your recipes and all this. And then I found a local store. And I started experimenting with both the THC and just CBD too. Yeah. So I actually use a combination of both. And fast forward, now it's been, 6 or 7 years and I daily use CBD to manage just daily anxiety. Yeah. And then I use THC for more major events and, as well as relaxation, mindfulness. Both CBD and THC work great for mindfulness. And it's really just changed my life. It's changed my mood. It's changed my outlook, changed my happiness. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. So I'm always interested in people's first times. Do you remember did you try it for the very first time at Disney World? What was it like? I need to know.
That's so funny. Yes. Nope, I tried it on the plane.
Oh my God, you're so brave on the plane. How'd it go?
Yeah, I tried on the plane. I fell asleep. It was great.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. Were you hooked that after that first time? Were you like, I have to have more of this?
Yes, because traditionally traveling for me had been, I feel, I'm very empathic. So I feel the anxiety at the airport and I feel everyone else's anxiety. And then that fuels my own anxiety. So I'm very sensitive to that. So it was being able to be at the airport was a breeze, being on the plane, not worrying about takeoff, landing, not worrying about the other people around me. All of that just went away. I didn't have I know, it was amazing.
It's amazing. Oh my gosh. So then we all kind of jumped down this rabbit hole. What did the research process look like for you? Because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know where to start. So I was relying on my friend, she was actually a client at the time. I was relying on my client for, the product, and I was just doing internet research. And again, I was starting to find people like you that had actually like really good information because there's a lot of not good information out there. And then I think that's when I found there's a local store that we have down the street, and it's just the THC is barely being legalized here in New York. So it was CBD at the time, and he took me in and was like, okay, what are all your symptoms? What do you need help with? Mm-hmm. And started to recommend, the different products. And then through your website, I found your recipes and was able to, now I can, I make it into oil. I make the flour into oil and I can use it for baking and cooking and all of that. So it's been really helpful.
My gosh, that's so exciting. So what does life look like now with cannabis in your life? Tell us a little bit about the benefits you experience.
So now the benefits have been just tremendous because with the CBD that I use for daily anxiety, I use I call it daytime CBD, right? So I'm able to start my own business during COVID. I know, like I've been able to take all these like leaps of faith without getting stuck in my anxiety, because in the past, the anxiety has kept me almost bedridden. It was so bad at certain points, and having a whole host of mental difficulties with bipolar disorder and depression, and the anxiety, I literally was bedridden for a time. And now that I have CBD, it calms. I'm not sure of the science behind it. That's your area of expertise, but it works. And so if I feel anxious, something starts to come up that's triggering for me, I take my daily CBD. It gets me over that hurdle to take leaps and to take steps that I wouldn't have been able to take otherwise.
Oh my gosh, I relate to that so much. I feel like cannabis gives me confidence in a way, like I can trust myself to make the right decision. And I totally connect with you on that.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. And I think part of, I've been starting to teach mindfulness when it comes to fitness and nutrition, because that's my background. And I've noticed over the years that both the CBD and the THC increase my mindfulness, because it's almost like they slow down my brain. Yes, it's almost like they slow it down, and it allows me to really, eat more intuitively, make better decisions. Because people say, they're like, oh, don't you get the munchies? And I'm like, actually, no, I make good decisions because I'm aware. I'm aware of what's going on, and I'm feeling myself, and I'm feeling my stomach. I feel all of that. It's life-changing.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that, because there's just such this misconception that cannabis consumption is going to make you lazy. sit on the couch, have the munchies. And there are so many people, healthcare professionals, especially that I talk to, that are like, this fuels my healthy lifestyle. And so many people have a hard time understanding that. But for me personally, cannabis was almost like the missing puzzle piece. It made eating healthy easier. It made exercising more enjoyable. It made mindfulness come more naturally. Have you had the same experience?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And it increases my motivation and my willpower.
Yes, absolutely. I feel that with fitness a lot. Now, fitness isn't my favorite, but since I've incorporated cannabis into my fitness routine, I've been able to remain consistent for what I'm doing for over a year now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like cannabis helped me with that too. It helps with everything.
It does. It really does. I know. So how do you incorporate it into your routine?
I prefer to actually smoke immediately before I work out. And then I like to do heavy weightlifting with like loud music. And for me, like that is it. You know, for so long, I thought I should do cardio. I should run. I should, you know, we think we should do. But when I took the time to be like, what do you actually like to do? And then when I added the cannabis in for that motivation piece, I realized that when I get into the workout, I'm not constantly saying to myself, when is it over? When is it over? When is it over? I'm like, wow, I'm so strong and I feel good. And this is great. Like, if I can get myself there, it really has been such a really enjoyable experience.
That's awesome. And I find that the more focused we are on our workouts, the more in it we are, if you will, like in it, then we get more out of it.
Absolutely.
You know, we're not constantly, especially now that a lot of people work out at home. It's not, we're not constantly thinking, well, I got to go switch the laundry. I got to stop my workout. Yes. More like I'm in this. So I'm feeling the muscles and I'm feeling good. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just me getting older and wiser or if it's the cannabis consumption or maybe both. But for me, fitness is so much more now like seeing how strong my body can be versus a weight loss motivated, I need to be skinny and look a certain way. And I don't care if it's cannabis or old age, like I'm so happy to be in that space. But for a lot of people, that's really hard to find, I feel like.
That is. And that's a game changer. But that tells me too that you're really mindful of what you're doing. You know, you're really paying attention to your body, which I think is what the cannabis helps you do.
The cannabis helps. Now, I would love, as your expertise is in mindfulness, will you tell our audience, if they're brand new to mindfulness, will you give us an overview of how it kind of incorporates into our everyday life?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like to say that mindfulness is simply paying attention to our bodies. I like to say it's super simple. We just don't do it. Where our minds are all over the place, our minds are scattered. We're thinking about 14 different things at once. And when it comes to especially eating, you know, we sit in front of the TV and it's just hand to mouth, hand to mouth, hand to mouth, and it's mindless. So I like to teach people that mindfulness is just the opposite of that. It's paying attention. It's realizing that your hand is in the bag of chips and then it's coming to your mouth and realizing that that's a whole chip I just ate. It's being aware. And it goes deeper than that. It's awareness of what you're doing. It's awareness of how you're feeling, both, you know, physically, you know, whether your stomach is full or whether it's empty. It's a matter of when you're working out, like you're saying, you're feeling that strength. You're feeling the muscles contract. You're feeling the muscles stretch, you know, whatever it is you're working on. But then it's also emotional. It's mental. You know, it's being mindful of how we're feeling, you know, and what the things that we're saying to ourselves too.
Absolutely. I think mindfulness hopefully is like one of the next big wellness trends. I know it's here and a lot of people are talking about it and preaching it, but I find that there are a lot of people who are still grasping onto understanding the concept. I also think there can be a really good place to bring mindfulness into cannabis because as much as we love cannabis, it could absolutely be abused or used inappropriately. But when you bring mindfulness into it, it really helps you to center yourself and saying, why am I consuming? Because I know for me, I can very easily consume just to consume. But when you bring that mindfulness piece into it and bring it into more of a wellness piece rather than a recreational piece, I think that's really important for a lot of people.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I think there's a lot of, misconception, like you said, that people are just out to just, get the high and just chill out in the couch. And while that you can do that, it's more than that. It's where I'm able to ask myself, okay, why do I need this right now? What else do I need to serve my emotional needs or my physical needs? Which is amazing. Yeah, it's just a game changer.
So now, are you shouting CBD and cannabis from the rooftops with your clients, people you work with, friends and family, or how are you navigating this newfound excitement?
It's funny. I do talk about it most of the time. There is still, I try to get a sense from people, just like any other topic. Like, yep. They always say, like, be careful when you talk about religion and politics. And stuff.
Well, yeah.
I was trying to get a sense from it. But I found that, since I've opened up to it, more people than I recognize use it for different things. And I am preaching, especially the CBD, I preach a lot of, and I'm always recommending people to the local stores because they are very, very knowledgeable. And that has been incredibly helpful for me. So I am trying to preach it. I would love to preach it more. I don't know a ton of the science behind it, so I don't want to overstep my bounds, right. But I can share how I use it.
Definitely. When you share with friends and family, do you feel the stigma, that traditional stereotype, or do you find that it's going away?
Yes, slowly. I find that it seems to be generational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. But, anecdotally, once I start mentioning it, people of all ages will tell me their stories too. And so how it's helped them. So I feel like it's becoming more acceptable and there's less stigma. It just got legalized to sell in New York this year. So there's a lot more publicity about it. I think we're starting to kind of turn the page a little bit in that respect.
Thankfully, finally, we've been waiting for so long. I'm in New York as well, and it's been
good.
It's been very painful to watch how slow the rollout has been, but I'm thankful for what we have because after talking to people in other states, we could be a lot worse off.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's crazy. So I do feel like we have a lot of freedoms here in New York when it comes to cannabis, but it is still slowly rolling out and it can be, I just want to be there. I want federal legalization to be there just so it's easy and accessible for everybody. But keep telling myself we've seen a lot of progress in the last 10 years. Like, let's see what the next 10 years will bring. Be patient.
We just have to be patient. Exactly. Yes. And just keep trying to, emphasize it for people. And I think that helps too. Yes. When people see the benefits of it, they feel the benefits of it. Yes. And then we can take that proof to lawmakers.
Absolutely. That's why I'm so glad you're here sharing your story. And we do these interviews here because people need to see, we're regular everyday people and we're out here living better quality lives because of cannabis.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I don't think I would be here today doing what I'm doing if I didn't have that. I really don't think I would have gotten this far.
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
I know it is. And you've built a whole business on it. It's amazing.
Did you say you're starting a new business as well? Is it cannabis focused? What's in the future for you?
So, my mindfulness is my jam. And so I've been able to create a course that uses mindfulness to help people manage or lose weight, basically stay in shape and be in control. And I think, cannabis, I need to start emphasizing that more now that it's becoming a little more acceptable. Because that's a huge piece in having that control over your actions.
I find the people who are going to be drawn to you will probably be so excited to find someone who's cannabis open and actually includes it in what they're doing, especially because I feel like not a lot of people in the mindfulness space are even considering cannabis as a tool for mindfulness when you're kind of capitalizing on the perfect time in the market to say, people, these two things go together perfectly.
They do. They really do. Yeah. They really, really do. That's amazing.
It is. Yeah. And as we're all trying to better ourselves as humans and be better, that mindfulness piece is so important for ourselves, for each other. I just feel like we're at this state where we need more compassion and empathy and kindness towards ourselves and other people. And cannabis can bring that, and mindfulness can bring that. And if you could bring them together, like, oh my gosh, it's like a perfect wellness. Yeah, like I said, missing puzzle piece.
Exactly. And I think it could be life-changing for people. Now more than ever, we're torn in so many different directions. And I just see people struggle so much with just so many different things going on. And unfortunately, that's just sort of where we are in society. So I really believe that the mindfulness and the cannabis can change lives. It really can.
It's so exciting to think about. And I can't wait to see what you do in the future. Send me a link to that course so I can share that with everybody listening. For anybody who's interested in more mindfulness, I would love to share that with you, because I truly think like this is a perfect combination of both practices. And it really can make such an impact on your life. And when you think about it, it's such simple actions. It's simple, easy action steps that anybody can take. You know, you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be in shape. Like there's so many easy ways to access mindfulness. So I'm going to absolutely share the link there for people too.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
I'd love to help more people.
That's the thing. I feel like all cannabis consumers once were like, oh my gosh, I've been fixed or improved. We want to turn around and help others do the same. Like it's just like a beautiful cycle for everybody.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Are you ready for the 4 questions I ask all of my guests?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this is my favorite part. The first question, what are you most proud of in your life to date?
Most proud of in my life? Honestly, I think that getting to where I am and overcoming anxiety, depression, and bipolar disorder is my biggest accomplishment. Because what a lifelong struggle. And to be able to sit here and say that it's not holding me back from anything is amazing. I never thought I'd be able to say that. So yeah, that's the most proud of that.
So happy for you. Oh my gosh. Kind of goes with our next question. What do you think your life would look like without cannabis?
That's kind of a scary question.
I know, right? It's everybody's least favorite question. Everybody's like, why'd you ask me that?
Yeah, that's scary, because without it, I don't know. I'd be 18 steps behind and maybe still stuck. I might still be stuck in who knows what, right?
I'm like so happy that girl brought you that gummy one time, just that one little thing can make such a difference. It's crazy.
Right? I know. Yeah. Amazing. Life-changing. Yeah.
If you could go back 10, 20, or even 30 years ago, give yourself a piece of advice, cannabis related or not, what would it be?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Wow. If I could go back to I guess I would say, be more open. Just be more open. I know, and it's hard when you have anxiety. It's hard to be open because you're basically scared of everything that could happen. So if I had advice to give myself, or if I could go back and change things, I would find a way, or just be more open to things.
That's perfect. Last question. If you could be remembered for just one thing in the cannabis space, what would it be?
Oh, that's a really good question. You have great questions. Honestly, I think this is a turning point for me. And I think that I would love to be able to be known for using cannabis to be the healthiest, fittest person I can be.
Oh my gosh.
And putting that together, because you don't hear that very often. You just don't. That's not the stereotype. And I think
that's why I'm so glad you're here showing us this, that it's absolutely possible to live your best, healthiest life, happy and joyful with cannabis. I'm so happy that you shared that with us.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to. I think, a lot of people think I am, because when you're in the wellness, the fitness space, they just assume that you eat super strict and you work out every day and you don't have any problem managing your weight. And, none of that's true. We're just humans like everybody else. And I struggle with all of that, but the cannabis helps me get through so that I can manage all of that. So it almost makes me superhuman, right? So why wouldn't we want to try that?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. For anyone who wants to learn more about your mindfulness course and you, where can they learn more?
So right now I have a website. It's under my fitness umbrella, which is bestfitpersonaltrainer.com. And I will definitely send you the link. So you
Perfect. I'll put it in. Yeah. Absolutely. For anybody who's interested in mindfulness, it goes so well with cannabis. I can't tell you enough. So if mindfulness is something brand new to you, please go visit Beth. Please check out her course. It could absolutely change your life. And she's a cannabis friendly practitioner. You can just enjoy your cannabis and your mindfulness all together in one. Beth, thank you so much for coming here and sharing this with us. I had a great time with you today.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course.
Congratulations. You've finished another episode of the Well with Cannabis podcast and are one step closer to discovering how you too can live well with cannabis. Thank you for listening in today. We hope this episode has been a helpful and informative one. Please visit EmilyKyleNutrition.com for more information on today's show notes, guest information, recipes, and other resources. If you want more support and encouragement on your cannabis journey, please consider joining the private Well with Cannabis community. In this group, you can connect with like-minded individuals focused on improving their health and wellness through cannabis. Join the group today to continue your journey of wellness together at EmilyKyleNutrition.com.